So the SPD-SX has a feature on it that means that when you change the tempo on the SPD-SX, it can also change the tempo of a sample, a loop, or a backing track, which is really helpful. So the first thing you want to do is head into Menu, Pad, and then hit the quick button, scroll all the way down to Tempo Sync and enter the menu. And what we're doing here is we're telling the SPD-SX what our loop is, what our backing track is, what time signature it's in, and then how many measures that thing is. Now, if you're in the UK, this tripped me up because a measure is a bar, and it took me probably too long to figure that out. But that basically means that if your loop is 4 bars long, then you want to put 4 measures because that's just how long it is. Once you've done that, then the SPD-SX will essentially calculate how fast it is. Then you hit enter to apply it to that kit, and that bit is pretty much good to go. From here, you want to assign tempo to the pad. So you're going to hit menu again, go back into pads, and then scroll down where it says tempo sync. Use the plus and minus buttons to turn that on or off. Now this is great because you can choose which pad you want to change with the tempo change. In this case, I'm just using one of the built-in patches of the SPD-SX that you get when you either format it or get it for the first time. It's this cool Latin thing, which is it's quite fun. So I'm just going to change one pad as an example to be synced with tempo, sunk with tempo, tempo sunk, tempo synced, that. And once you've chosen those pads, you can hit kit and you're back to the beginning. So now we just start the click, we hit the pad in time, and that's really important, that it's got to be in time. And we can just change the tempo. And as a quick little tip as well, if you want to change the tempo by 1 BPM, then you can hold down shift and use the plus and minus buttons, and that will change it by a whole BPM. But if you want to change it by a decimal point, then just use the plus and minus buttons on their own and it will change. Now, a quick heads up, I did just say that you need to hit the pad in time, which is really important, and that's because the tracks don't sync to the click in the sense that start the click, hit the pad anytime you like, and it'll start. The SPD-SX Pro does have that feature, but us here, mere mortals on the SPD-SX, doesn't have that feature. So when you start the click, you need to make sure that you hit the pad with the loop, with the backing track, exactly on beat 1, so it's in time for the whole time. Once it starts playing, then you can adjust the tempo. If you'd like to see me chat to drummers about how they use electronics in London's West End or on massive pop gigs, you can check out the link in the description down below. And with that, I hope you enjoyed the tempo sync function on the SPD-SX.